one of the things that we wanted to try to discuss this afternoon is the role of the combination laser in the clinic, why the combination laser was developed, the uses of the combination laser and why it's so convenient, and the reasons why doctors would buy the combination laser over a single laser system. Some of the attractive features of the, these words are coming from doctors in the marketplace, not only in the U.S. but other places. They say to me and our group, and you have to understand that we have like 80% market share in combination lasers, and before you leave this confines here, hopefully you understand why Nidek is so popular for combination lasers. First, they say it's maximum space saving. In places like big cities and clinics that have very limited space, they like to know that they can have this small package, and it's the smallest package available. You can switch instantly between the green laser and the YAG laser, so the patient is always sitting in one place, and you can do multiple procedures with that patient at that time. There's a combo adapter that fits on top of the YAG laser system so that it doesn't take any more room, and you can utilize the YAG delivery system as a slit lamp. It has a manual micro manipulator with the green laser system, and it's upgradable to existing Nidek lasers. And I think it's a very important point, because as we go and speak to our doctors in the field, sometimes they have an older Nidek YAG or whatever. We can hook up to this and make a combination system for them in the field. So some more of the attractive features: when you put two systems together, you save money. And where do you save the money? You save money in this table, and you don't have to have two separate systems for extra space. And you save money because you don't need to buy a separate slit lamp. So those are all savings that fall to the bottom line, and doctors like to save money and still have the utilization. So the functionality is that it has many uses, right? What are the uses for the 532, and what's the uses for the YAG? We know the YAG is for capsulotomies and for iridotomies. We know that the 532 is really for retinal photocoagulation. It's also for glaucoma. And for glaucoma, that's for laser trabecularplasty, LTP or AALT, whichever you like to, they're synonymous. And the visualization, thanks to Mr. Abe sitting in the back, is excellent on both modes. Now that's always a consideration when you put two systems together, because doctors it's easy for them to visualize the anterior segment, whether they're doing an iridotomy or a capsulotomy, but it's much more difficult in the periphery and the retina. And so Mr. Abbey has put together a system that has plenty of illumination now in the posterior area, and we thank him for that. The combination platform, of course, we talked about, is the slit lamp delivery system, the YAG and the green laser, and here's what it looks like. So in an office, it's very, very easy to see where it would go and get all of your different applications from one sitting. So we doctors call it 532 and switching between on the fly. What that means, instantaneous switching. And why do they like that? Because when they're doing cases like iridotomy, in order to prevent any bleeding that might occur on the iris, they'll pre-treat the iris with the green laser and then go at the same point with the YAG laser and punch a hole through there, and so you can actually see. Now, one of the things that doctors like about the combination system as well is that when they punch the hole through for the iris for iridotomies, they're also seeing a red reflex. And what do I mean by that? They're actually seeing the retina retro illumination back to the doctor's view, so they know the hole is patent or completely through. So no other laser does that. So I'm giving you a lot of unique feature benefits for the Nidek. Now, it's a small footprint. We talked about that in the ergonomic design. We also talked about the combination technique of eliminating bleeding. It's very popular. Doctors like to do this. Understand, when you're doing an iridotomy, a brown iRide is 3 times thicker than a blue iRide. So your settings for the YAG laser will vary. The number of shots for iridotomy will vary. Iridotomies are now being done more often. They call them prophylactic iridotomies for narrow angle glaucoma, narrow angles, just period. They will do an iridotomy, and they do them at 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock, so that when you're driving at night, you don't see the car headlights into your eyes coming through those holes, because your lid drops when you're driving. Now we didn't talk much about retraction iridoplasty. That's a word that was very popular at one time. It means larger spots of the 532 green on the periphery of the iris, close to the limbus, where they actually make large burns there and actually shrink the iris away from the angle to give more inflow and outflow facility. Vitreolysis is strictly cutting vitreal strands or wounds to the surgery that's been performed. So the physical characteristics, we also talked about retraction iridoplasty just a second ago. Hyaloidectomy, which is just cutting the hyaloids